Boy, that's a cool look. Look at that. Hey everyone, welcome back to Spyder Garage. We've got some loose ends to tie up this week before we make a huge order for new wheels for this car right over here. Yep, we're finally working on this car again. And Nathaniel's positioning the front wide body fender over there to kind of get it in the spot we think it's going to be. We're going to...
Just loosely, enough to where I can mock up a wheel and then figure out what size I need.
Yeah, and that brings me to why we're mocking these things up. I'll show you over here. Speedway Motors was nice enough to outfit us with their wheel fitment tool. We've got some massive 18 by 11, 18 by 12, we're not sure yet, wheels to put on this thing. And before we spend a lot of money on those, we want to make sure that the backspacing is correct and where the placement of this tire needs to be in relation to the fender on both the front and the back.
Yep.
And yeah, that tool is going to help us do that. So we've got to first get this thing out of here, get it put together, and then fit it on the car. But before we do that, we got to get this fender mounted so we know where everything's going to be placed in relation to the wheel, the rotor, the fender, all of that. And since if you guys saw on a really old episode, we had to move the whole body of the car back like another inch and a half, I think it was. And so that changed our mounting points. And so we've got to fix that again.
It actually does make this fender more on the center of this wheel.
Yeah, that was one of the things we noticed after mounting the body, is that our wheels weren't centered.
Yeah, which is the goal.
Yeah.
Obviously.
So we'll fix this first, and then we'll get that thing put on. What was the math again?
13 3/4
times 2. 3/4 times 2 is an inch and a half, so 13 times 2 is 26, so 27 and a half.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
For the wheel opening.
Okay. So that's perfectly centered is what you're saying?
Yeah, on the rotor.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Did you already drill a new hole and mount that down?
I just got a bolt on the top and something on the bottom, but yeah, it's
well, enough to hold it.
The hole's there, yeah.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Cool. Well, let's go put this thing together. That's it. All right there in the bag. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. There's something in there. Wow, lots of pieces. Might actually need the instructions for this. That's everything. Let me get it all the way out here.
Okay.
You got pictures?
Yeah.
It does.
It does have pictures.
Awesome.
It also has words. You can read them. And explain what each segment is.
Overall, okay, so it measures overall wheel width, wheel center line, backspacing, and offset. All right, before we get too far into this, there's a few terms that we need to get you guys familiar with. One of them is overall wheel width. Another is wheel center line and backspace, and then offset. All right, up in the loft I had this really old wheel up there that I could use as a good demonstrator because there's no tire on it. But very simply, overall wheel width is just outside to outside, and this one is 8 1/4. Wheel center line is basically that divided by 2, which is going to be 4 1/8 right there in the center. Backspace is the measurement from the outer lip back to the rear mounting space here. And on this one, you can see that looks like it's 5 1/2. And as far as wheel offset goes, it's probably easier to show you here in the illustration they have in the instructions. We'll just say, for instance, this is an 8-inch wide rim, and then, of course, your center line right here, this dotted line is going to be 4 inches, because that's 8 divided by 2. And then your wheel mounting surface is this line right here. And so if this is sitting at, we'll say, 5 inches backspacing, then your offset is going to be 1, because it's 5 minus 4. And it's going to be a positive offset as well, because it's further towards the outside of the wheel. So how do you put this thing together? right, we got it together, finally.
Yeah.
Felt like a monkey doing a math problem. But this is what it looks like. You want to hold it up there?
Yeah. So that's basically...
Mounts in the middle.
These are kind of the width. We've already set these to the width of the tire as far as the clamping goes.
Yep.
We know how wide it is.
These clamp the lips of the tire, and then this slides back and forth based on your back spacing.
Yep. So I can't exactly slide it in there because it's, you know, too wide to actually fit into this lip.
Oh, we might need to
I'd
put
have
the
to-
side pieces in first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Take it out, basically.
Well, you know, if we'd read the instructions. I mean, I recommended that we did.
Shut up.
I don't know about you.
Shut up.
Hi.
Hi.
There we go. Clamps on the lip of the tire. Oh, I see. You had to take it out at the 18-inch mark there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
You could push up on this end. Yeah.
Does that help?
Kind of.
I was trying to push down on the bottom one, but
Yeah.
either one worked. Your wing nuts are over here.
Yeah. Cool. That's pretty nice, actually.
Yeah. There it is.
We have to go mount the tire if we want to.
Yeah.
Go back. It's easiest for now.
Go for it.
Which one is these lined up with?
Yeah. 4 3/4, 5 by 4 3/4. So you
No,
see-
the number does not help you right now. Well, maybe if it.
Oh, it's flipped around the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty nice.
Cool. Let's get some lug nuts on there.
That's actually kind of cool to see.
It is. You can actually mount it. And it definitely needs to come out a little bit. You can see it's too
Yeah.
far inset, but
Yeah.
we'll worry about that in a minute. Oh, that's cool. So it just slides right out.
Yeah, you just kind of. That's tricky, making sure it lines up evenly, top and bottom. That's at about 6 inches of back spacing right now.
How much?
6 inches.
Okay.
I'm gonna check. Even on both sides.
I think, isn't this a 12-inch wide?
Yeah, it's about 12 inches long.
Yeah. Yeah, this is.
Starting to match it.
Oh, yeah, and I forgot. These tires came from Speedway Motors, too.
Yeah, they came from the booth.
Yeah. At LS Fest.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah.
How ironic.
Worked out.
How very cool.
Actually, yeah.
I love that the bird crap is the first thing I see every time you rotate that thing.
Oh, well.
Chicken poop.
we have chickens.
Yep. We got chickens, people. We can't help it. Nice.
It's pretty good. Yeah, that took pretty well. I could even go further in if I really needed to. I don't really need to.
Well, if you got plenty of room on the back, I guess really what you want to do is just space it so that it sits
Pretty flush.
kind of flush with the fender.
Which
Looks like it sticks out a little bit.
On the back here, you have curved in, but the front,
All right.
you could look at it from the front here.
Yeah, I'll get out of your way. All right, here's a cool view. This is just literally straight down on it. I don't see the tire.
I think I got the tire slightly. One of them's slightly different than the other.
Yeah, it looks like it's
cantered a little bit.
Yeah. Boy, that's a cool look. Look at that.
Yeah, that's better.
You think so? I can't tell if it's towed in or...
I think it's still slightly towed in.
Yeah, it is towed in a little bit. Well, we get the idea. We'll play around with it a little bit more, and we'll be back. One thing we didn't explain was that obviously this has got holes drilled into it for all the bolt patterns. We know ours is 5 by 4 3/4, but he noticed that there is a 4 3/4 here and another 4 3/4 here. They're just for different diameter studs, and so we got the wider stud. So the easiest way to know, which it looks confusing when you see that many holes, but you basically just find where it's labeled 4 3/4 and just make sure one of those is stuck in there, and then all the rest of them will line up with the other holes that are there. And on the back side of it here, when it comes to reading your backspacing, you notice that we were sliding this in and out to make sure that we just wanted our tire to kind of line up flush with the outside of the fender well, the wide body fender. And once we locked it into place, from the back here, you can read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it lines right up here on the 6 mark. So it's a 12-inch wide rim. Backspacing is 6 inches. And if you can see that, that's how you read it. Very simple. All right, what we figured out was that we need about 6 inches of backspacing.
Yeah.
That it sits flush, and we kind of like the way it looks.
Kind of what I guessed based on the wheel height.
Yeah, a long time ago, we kind of figured that's what it would take, but now we know for sure. Time to take it off and try it on the front here. We're having a little bit of difficulty because, for one, this is a Corvette chassis. There's really no place to mount it at the base.
Yeah, I haven't figured that out yet.
And these fiberglass fenders from VFN have been sitting on their side.
Yeah, over the years they've kind of stretched.
Yeah, so they're kind of splayed out a little bit. So
it's a little hot right now.
Yeah, it sticks out on the bottom more than it should. But the point is, we want the top to kind of...
Top is kind of a good reference point.
Right. We're going to stick with that for now, and we'll fix the fender later. A little concerned about how a 12-inch tire is going to fit on the front here.
Yes. I don't think it's going to fit with the jack stand there.
Well, that's... yeah.
It's not kind of right now.
Nope.
I have to move that.
I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll have to jack it up and take that thing out.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that. We'll be right back.
It's pretty big.
Pretty big?
It's pretty big.
All right, Nathaniel just installed the tire on the front of the car without the fender.
Yeah, it's pretty goofy looking.
That's massive.
It's like a vet cart.
Wow. That sticks out from the door quite a bit too.
Yeah.
All right.
Now my concern with this is this wheel opening not being big enough for this tire.
Yeah.
With the diameter. Which I think is what we're going to run into. Or maybe not.
Diameter might be okay, but will the backspacing
We'll, this
work?
fender is sitting slightly higher. So we're going to subtract like a ½ inch from all the measurements.
Yeah.
I need to adjust this. Now move the body down.
Oh my. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a problem. Can it go in anymore?
Not really. Not if I want to turn.
See how far it slides in without interfering with the steering itself. Looks like you got room to slide back.
Concern right here though. Although I guess if it's as long as it doesn't hit, it's
Yeah,
not, it's not gonna.
A normal car will be within a ½ inch of that a lot of times, sometimes less,
Yeah, fair enough.
because it's never going to move. Wow. Hey, He just slid it in a little bit.
How much room do I have to turn?
No. It's not horrible.
It's not horrible. It's not great, but
You'll
it's
have
not
to
horrible.
move. What is this line? Is this a brake line? Oh,
That's a brake line, so I can reroute.
actually, are you sure
that's not even a brake line. I don't think.
that's an AC line? It's just hanging there, I think,
Yeah.
or something that can move.
I think that was when I still thought I could keep the AC in this thing.
Oh,
I left it there because I wanted.
and there's no room for even a blower motor over there. We had to cut it out.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look here. Hey, that ain't bad.
That looks pretty good, actually.
Oh,
That's a big relief, actually.
that is a huge relief.
Now, how much room do you have at the top?
Don't have a lot of up and down room.
No.
You're gonna have a really stiff suspension on this thing, though. I mean, sitting still, it looks fine. When you start putting in suspension movement, steering, you might have an issue.
I really wish I had a key for this thing where I could actually unlock the wheel and turn it. I need to do that so I can test.
Well, yeah. We have a new steering column for this thing from I Did It.
Maybe take the steering column out is what I need to do,
Yeah, we just need to take, because this old steering column is locked and we never could unlock it. The key would not. Did we ever have a key?
No, it never came. It didn't come with a key.
Yeah, it didn't come with a key.
Yeah.
But we weren't that worried about it because we always planned on taking the column out anyway, because we have a new one from I Did It. However, we haven't done that yet.
Yeah. It makes moving this thing a little difficult when you can't steer it. I think there's probably a video of me and Sean.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to move this thing from outside to inside. And we basically just, he had that winch inside of his garage and we just put it on casters and.
Yep, you're right. I forgot about that. Well, so in theory, it'll work.
It's a better outcome than I thought it would be.
Yeah, and I tell you what, man.
It looks cool.
It looks cool once you got a tire on the front there. I wish we had two of these tools so I can mount the front and the back both. Yeah.
No.
Very cool. Well, this is why you need one of these tools from Speedway Motors, because I tell you what, we would have never been able to test this. And I tell you what, man, when you go to order expensive wheels, I'm not going to say how much they are, but they're not cheap.
I'll just say they're worth more than what I paid for both of these cars.
Combined.
Combined.
Yeah. Yep, but they're the only wheels that really fit this car.
Yeah.
And they're going to be beautiful. But we just want to make sure we get them right.
They're worth it.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
Hope. Oh my God, I hope.
Yeah. Well, we're going to play around with it a little bit more. We'll turn the camera off and just kind of tweak some more.
But yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for tonight. I just really needed to do this to, well, figure out measurements. Now I can go to the wheel guy and tell him what we found out. And yeah.
Yeah, Jongbleod Wheels.
Actually get them on the way here.
Yeah.
Which is a big step for this project.
They're custom-made three-piece wheels from Jongbleod Racing Wheels, and it takes them a little time to make them, so we've got to hurry up and place the order so they get here in time that we can
The goal is September.
get them on the car.
It is currently January, so I'm going to give them the order now, and hopefully it'll be in sometime in the summer.
Yeah, because the goal is to be at LS Fest in September, right?
Yeah.
All right, hold the phone. Do you want to explain what happened?
So it's the next day, and what I decided to do after thinking about it last night was I wanted to test fit a 10-inch tire just to see how much more clearance that would give us up front for the turning. Went into town, had it dismounted from a guy, and we're using the wheel fitment kit to test that, and by golly, it looks really good.
Yeah, we got it flush where it would normally sit inside the fender. And then we forgot that we had already disconnected the rack and pinion anyway, so we could have turned these wheels.
I forgot I did that.
Yeah.
I was assuming it was still attached.
So he's going to turn that right now. And the rack and pinion is pretty much provides the stop itself. So good clearance there.
That's full lock, and we got plenty of clearance.
And that's a 10-inch wide rim, which almost hits the bushing up here. So a 12-inch rim definitely wouldn't have fit with the backspacing we needed. It comes pretty close to the front sway bar there. So bottom line is,
We're thinking well, I'm thinking I might try to go for a 10-inch wide in the front.
Yeah.
That's a little more realistic.
Yeah, you could. It sits. If you don't have to steer it, the 12-inch looks great.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know the history, the original IMSAs had staggered wheels anyways.
Yep, they sure did.
15 in the back and 12 in the front, I think. Something like that.
Widthwise, yeah.
Widthwise, yeah.
Yeah, 15 inches in the back.
15 by 15.
Yeah, they were only 15-inch diameter and 15 inches wide. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy. But, that being said, I don't think it's going to look all that weird. No one's going to be able to really tell.
No. Who's going to complain about a 10-inch wide rim on the front?
Yeah.
Most people don't even have this on the back. So we still have, here's the 12-inch wide tire, obviously. This is what we had tested on there last night. We have not hooked up the fitment tool to this yet and tried to turn it, but just based on what we already see here.
Based on how much room we had last night.
It's going to interfere.
I don't think we're going to get like this much. I mean, it's going to be Austin Powers everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. It'll turn.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a 16-point turn.
It's not good for a race car.
No, exactly. So, yeah, I think we have probably decided to go ahead and go with a narrower rim up front.
It's going to be a little more...
Obviously with the whatever backspacing this is, we haven't even looked at it to see yet. I can't see it. It looks like it's 3, 4, 5 inches backspacing on a 10-inch rim. So it's right down the middle.
And the bonus is that I now have 2 extra 12-inch wheels or tires.
For
a burnout.
For burnouts. Exactly.
So,
you just got to find some 18-inch cheap rims to put them on.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Well.
But, yeah.
We'll see.
Those things are not cheap even used. All right. Well, anyway, we wanted to bring you guys back to show you what we learned so that we didn't mislead anyone. And I'll stitch this in to the end of the video. And, yeah. We're learning as we go. All right. Well, thanks to Speedway Motors for giving us this amazing wheel fit tool. It really is invaluable. This is not something you want to guess at, especially when they're as big and as wide and as expensive as these are going to be. So you got to have something like this to really make sure that your math is correct before you place an expensive order and then find out it was all wrong. Be watching for more videos of this car coming soon. We're going to be pulling the motor. We've got another fitment tool from Speedway Motors. It's a small block. It's actually the short block and a long block. Well, short block and the heads. And it all bolts together. And
isn't a short block plus the heads a long block?
Yep. Puts it together, makes it a long block. And we can mock up an LS inside this thing.
So it is a long block.
Yeah, technically it is a long block. They come as separate pieces. But that's next. And we even have some other cool stuff from Speedway Motors for this. The actual engine mounts that bolt the LS into this thing are from Speedway Motors as well. So be looking for that in an upcoming video. But until then, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you so much. Can't wait to show you the wheels we're going to get for this thing, but that's coming up.
Yep.
Any last words?
Thanks.
All right. See you later, guys. Take care.